I'm laughing because a buddy of mine, I was just talking to him, and I was kind of telling him about this whole thing that I've been doing of spilling my soul, right? Or really just kind of just getting things out, and it's feeling good. And he also knows that, I've been on TV before, and he's like, man, look, none of that scares you. Like, it doesn't, bother you at all. And I was like, no, it really doesn't. And he's like, that's not that's not normal, right? And and we laughed about it. We're good friends, so he could say that, and it's no offense or anything. And the thoughts of normalcy, kind of, of why I'm here again today. Carrie Prince with another Prince Perspectives. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for everything that you will do for me and for yourself. Continue to please do all the things that you do, like, comment, share. You know what it is. My thoughts were about, kind of normal. Normal. What does that mean? And my things ping pong around, and where I landed on was that phrase, like the new normal that we were using a lot around the pandemic. Um, and for me, just came to the realization in 2024 how much the pandemic affected me as far as isolation and being alone, and how I carried those habits forward. And I didn't really realize it. I put myself in a survival mode, just kind of getting through the pandemic, just kind of making things happen, but not realizing how it affected me personally, and how it affected me emotionally, right? Because I am a person that likes to be connected, like to get out and do things and, meet people, do things, whatever, share ideas, share creativity. And I wasn't doing that. I stopped it, and I had to find ways to not spiral down, right? So, I became fine with being a homebody, but when things opened back up, I wasn't able to kind of revert because I didn't realize what I had done, right? So, but in a sense, isolation is so dangerous. So if you think about it in a base sense, prisons are the worst places on earth, and in punishment in a prison is isolation, right? Like, isolation can do things like take those negative thoughts and have them go places you really don't need them to go, right? So forcing yourself or finding ways to maintain connection with people, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your relationships, romantic and otherwise, all those things, making those connections and having those deep connections to bring you out of these spaces. Now, there are spaces where you do need to be alone and work some things out, right? But prolonged isolation just isn't the way to go, right? I typically don't try to give advice like that, but it just isn't the way to go. So make those connections with your people. And another thing about, connections, and, when you're doing these things with your people, man, like, connection is like dynamic and like not a destination, right? So like it's something that's going to be like an ebb and flow and exchange of energy, over time. And also, it isn't a place you get to like, oh, now we're connected, we're done. Like, no, you kind of keep going with that. And I think that kind of happens with families, because families are forced to be together. And then if you don't continue to work and cultivate the connection that you have with your family, then you feel trapped, and then that can lead to a whole bunch of bullshit. So these are, once again, just my opinions, right? But also wanted to kind of get this out there because, like I said, I've come to that realization in 2024 that I was really affected by the pandemic. I know I'm late getting to this, but I was really affected by it, by, becoming a homebody and a hermit. As I've been saying, things are a lot better now. That's why I wanted to share these thoughts and some of these things to, hopefully it touches somebody, reaches somebody, does some other things. But to be honest with you, I really like doing this for me. It feels good to kind of get these things out there. But I do hope that someone does find some benefit from this. Also, remember, you can check me out on eat-color.com. And actually, for the first time, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. I also have another website, my personal one, carrieprince.com. I haven't talked about that a lot. I have some different blog posts and some more, maybe a little bit more personal writing there. So please check that out as well. I thank you for your time as always, and I'll holla at you.